Hi, you guys. Welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about value within the relationship, right? And I even broke it down. You have vulnerable, ability, love, understanding, and empathy, right? And I have a few more for y'all, though. I just had to break down value, in my opinion, okay? My opinion. Even with all of that, you can't even forget the honesty, staying loyal, the communication, trust, commitment, and respect. You know what I'm saying? Like every single one that I listed plays a part within the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to make it work, if this is it for you, like this is your person, all of these values need to be within the relationship because let's look at it this way. Is there a such thing as someone doing something, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's lying or, these are really big though. Don't get me wrong, they're very big. Like within a relationship, someone lying, or hey, someone slipped up and they cheated, and this and that. Are these two a deal breaker to end the relationship? I know a lot of y'all out there, like, yes, absolutely. You're not going to sit here and cheat on me and think that I'm supposed to sit here and stay with you. It don't work like that. But what about all of the other relationships out there when you come across whether it is a man or woman and cheating comes into play or just lying for absolutely no reason? What happened to those values that we spoke about? You know what I'm saying? I mean, me personally, I feel like if y'all come across a situation like that, firstly, you have to make sure all of these are already in play because if you or the other person sat here and disrespected the other person with knowing all the values that have been in place, you got to take that until accountability as well. Like, I'm gonna go back for a little bit. Are you really sitting here playing with me? Because we sat here and we spoke about what we need to strengthen our relationship and not to go backwards. Because don't get me wrong, there is no one on this earth perfect. Absolutely no one. I get it. People sit here, they make mistakes, certain things happen, but you have to pay attention even though that mistake happened, and after a certain amount of times it is no longer a mistake. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to turn your mistakes into an actual habit, and I ain't going for that. You know what I'm saying? So even let's say a little slip up happened, what do? Or some people do it though, they're just like, enough is enough, I'm gonna just call it a day. That's cool, but if you stay there, you have to look at that person's actions. Like, I get it, you made a mistake, you had a slip up, this happened, it shouldn't have happened. Now let's look into it a little deeper. Like, what were you going through, or what happened in our relationship that made you want to sit here and lie to me, or made you want to sit here and venture off somewhere where I can't even go to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was not included, I wasn't even a thought. Like, what exactly happened? Some people don't want to hear it. Y'all don't yell at me. I'm not sitting here promoting having slip ups and lying and cheating to your partners. I'm just talking about life, how it truly is. There is no one perfect. Certain things do happen. But even besides just the whole lying and cheating aspect, we can even dive a little lower. It could even boil down to just boundaries. Like, if I'm telling you the way you talk to me or the way you do little things, it bothers me. And if that person continues, clearly they do not care about boundaries. They do not care about what makes you feel some type of way and trying to better you, especially if you sat here and you vocalized it like all of the time, and it seems like it's too much of a slip up for it to be a mistake and not a habit. You know what I'm saying? That's why, even with all of these values, I do not want anyone out there lowering themselves because you're just like, oh no, it's a slip up. No, I don't know the amount of slip ups or accidents until it turns into a habit. That's another thing within a relationship. It's like you have to know your partner. That's why communication is like so important. And I'm just saying it for me personally, but not even just like for a relationship aspect. This could be with anyone. You already know. I'm not about to break it down. It can be for anyone, but specifically within the relationship, communication, I feel like that's like one of the top tiers. Because how are we supposed to make this work if we can't even speak to each other? How would you know what I want and need? And how am I going to know what you want and need if we don't even know how to properly communicate with one another? And that's another thing that I've been seeing as of lately. Whether it's the male or the female, a lot of us, let's venture back into the slip up. When it boils down to the slip up, if your partner is sitting here and bringing it up to you, no one's sitting here attacking you. I'm just saying, since we came to a resolution, I just want to bring it up again like, hey, remember when I did or when you did so and so? Since we are finally in a place within this relationship that we're moving forward, let's not forget what we talked about last time. Let's not forget those values that we put in this relationship. So going forward, something like this shouldn't happen again, because if it does, it's no longer an accident. It is no longer a slip up. This is something you intentionally wanted to do. And unfortunately, within the same sense, it's like you have to be careful. Because if you really put it out there in your relationship, well, especially with the slip ups and an accident or whatever, sometimes it varies from person to person. Someone could literally sit here and prey on the love that y'all have for each other and use that to their advantage. Like, but wait a minute. It's a new year. We spoke about those values. It didn't happen this year. You know what I'm saying? No, it doesn't matter what year it happened in. It doesn't matter how many times. If we sat here and we really had a communication and you really did not think about this relationship, most importantly, you didn't think about me, and you ventured backwards and did the same thing that I've been complaining about, that's just showing me, honestly, you didn't have to say it. All you have to do is show me. And a lot of people need to understand, like, anyone can be the best talker in the world. That's beautiful. All of their words make sense. It makes you feel really good. That's beautiful. But how is this person treating you? Like, how do you feel within your relationship? If you feel like you got to be on your P's and Q's in that relationship, it doesn't make sense. And the reason why I say that it doesn't make sense is because if you're taking the time out to only give yourself to this person and y'all supposed to be living life together, why are you making sure you don't do something wrong? And you got to be on your P's and Q's when it comes down to this person, when you have to do that with the world as it is. Having your partner is like a safe haven, you know what I'm saying? Where you could relax and not feel like you have to defend yourself. If you feel like you have to defend yourself, I don't know. Like I said, it depends on the relationship. Maybe you need to sit here and have another conversation and just hit it with a whole, hey, I'm starting to feel a bit uneasy. I'm starting to feel like I did before. I don't know. It just feels a little weird. I just want to talk to you about it because I would rather have a communication, not a communication. I would rather communicate and have a conversation with you before it boils down to I'm going to start accusing you. And I don't want to do that because I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Oh, yeah. Personal talk. So, the main reason why I came up with value for this episode is because I am very big on it being a new year and how we're all supposed to grow. You shouldn't be the same person that you were last year, meaning in terms of the mindset. You know what I'm saying? I know everything is expensive out here, so I'm not going to be like, hey, all that growth for all of these seasons, y'all should have got a better job. Y'all should have a house and a car or a better car. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all something that I don't have for myself. No, my growth that I look for the rest of us out here is a mindset growth, because once you get your mind right, you just do not know what really happens, like how much you could really do in life when you get your mind right. That's why I'm saying whoever you were last year, I hope they stay there, because they should not be in this new year with you, because I feel like 2025 is the year of all of that growth actually paying off. You know what I'm saying? And even with all of these values, from the standpoint of a relationship aspect, if you're sitting here with someone and, oh, yeah, personal talk, like from me personally, I'm sitting here within my relationship. I look at these values like everything. That's the only way a relationship is going to work. If every single thing I listed for the beginning of this episode is not within your relationship, most importantly, no matter what order I set this in, number one is God, 100%. Because how are you supposed to make something work without Him? We are here because of Him. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we all have a purpose in life. I get it. It's very hard. I'm still trying to figure out mine. I'm trying to figure out, why was I put on this earth? Like, what was I here to do? I personally feel like I was here to talk to you guys, you know? But back to personal. Even within my relationship, of course, like I said, no one's perfect. If Well, when I used to feel some type, I'm like, hey, I feel a little off. Like, what's going on? And then we would sit here and have a conversation like, hey, I meant to tell you this, but I was having a bad day. And sometimes I do come home with work, and that's something you shouldn't do, because who knows what happened at your job. Maybe something happened and it made you upset, and then you come home and you take it out on your partner. Listen, man, woman, your partner ain't do that. I tell myself this all the time. Like, he didn't do anything. That was the job. So sometimes it's like, well, no, not sometimes, all the time. You really need to separate work and home. You can't mix and match and bring them together. It doesn't work like that, because you're a different version at work and you're a different version when you come home. If you're sitting here being with your partner and acting like you at work, that's not okay. I used to get yelled at for that too. It's not okay. Like, at some point you have to be in the moment with your partner. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying being in a relationship is going to be nothing but sunshine and it never rains and it's no arguments. No, because if I ever said that, no, I would never say that, because that's not true. That's a lie. It's gonna be times where things don't make sense and you're gonna feel like you're going crazy, but you're not. If this is truly your person, if this is a person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, take the time out, sit there and have the conversation. But you can't sit here and look at him or her face and yell all of these values when you know for a fact that you're not even putting forth the effort in all of these values. Don't sit here and talk about something that you can't back up on your end. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it is somebody out there that does every and follow every single value, and it's just like, that's not me. I get it. It's some of us out there. It is. But for me, it took me a good little minute. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all already know. I say it maybe like on every episode. I really felt like when I'm not being understood properly, I always took it as somebody trying to play me or you trying to do this and that. But it's not even that though. Maybe you're not explaining it correctly, or you can't expect someone to receive whatever you're saying in the way your mind is telling you how it should be received. No. It's people out here. I can't sit here and talk to y'all. Y'all are going to take every single thing that I'm saying, every episode, in the way you want to take it. I can't force you to take my episodes in a way that I mean it if you don't see it the way I mean it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that could cause a lot of arguments too, because in your mind, you think I should be receiving it like this, but you got to think about it. How was your tone when you explained it? Facial expressions are everything. That's what I go that's what I go off. I go off your tone, I go off your facial expressions and all of that. That's why when it's like a serious conversation, I do not do texting. I do not do phone calls because who knows? You could be trying to play me with your words through a text and on the phone. I need to see you face to face. I need to know that everything that you're telling me and you're looking me like right in my eyes, like everything that you're saying, like you mean every single thing. But just like I said earlier, a person can sit here and have the best word terminology and it just makes you feel so good, like, oh my gosh, I trust everything. I get it. If you feel comfortable like that, that's great. But what I'm saying is, even though you're that sucked in to your partner, make sure that you're not changing your morals, you're not changing your values, and you're just going along with the plan just because it's your person. No, you got to understand, when you sit here and get in a relationship with someone and you're just like, it's me and you forever. You need to remember that you're a person on your end as well. Don't get so sucked in where it's like, oh, you said this, I thought it was two, but okay, we can do four. Now, if you know it's two, you stay with that two. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling y'all, these values are everything. Alrighty, you guys. I really hope that this episode really helps someone out there. And I will speak to you guys next Sunday.